In a matter of seconds, one name shook the entertainment world once again: Xiao Zhan. And as whispers about another figure began to emerge from the crowd, the atmosphere shifted from mere celebration to a mystery that captivated the attention of millions. The red carpet at the 2026 SMG TV series Quality Awards was filled with camera flashes and cheers from fans. But when Xiao Zhan stepped out, time seemed to slow down. Dressed in a flawless beige suit, he didn't just walk, he commanded the space. His every move felt like a scene from a grand, never-before-seen drama. The cheers grew louder. Xiao Zhan's name was shouted from every direction, creating a wave of energy that almost felt tangible. Fans raised their phones, trying to capture every moment. In an instant, his photos spread across social media platforms, becoming the hottest topic of the night. But beneath the glitz, something more subtle began to unfold. A small whisper emerged among the comments and posts. A question that initially seemed trivial, but slowly gained traction. Could someone very familiar have been around that night? Wang Yibo's name began to appear in various forums and comment sections. There was no official announcement, no confirmation, just bits of speculation pieced together by astute fans. A shadow, a fleeting figure, or perhaps just a hope too strong to ignore. Some fans claimed to have seen someone with a strikingly similar build and aura to Wang Yibo. Others claimed to have seen security personnel seemingly protecting someone important in the back area. There was no clear evidence, but that was precisely what made the rumor all the more intriguing. The internet began to buzz with theories. Short videos were zoomed in, photos were examined down to the smallest detail, and every angle was analyzed with dedication. For some, it was mere coincidence. But for others, it felt like a hint of something bigger. The relationship between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo was nothing new to fans. Since their past collaborations, the two have symbolized a bond that's hard to describe. Their chemistry transcends the screen, creating a connection that lives on in fans' memories. That's why even the slightest rumor can spark such a huge reaction. It's not just about physical presence, but about the possibility that two figures who once created magic together might once again be in the same room. On the other hand, Xiao Zhan remained calm and professional. He smiled, waved, and interacted with the media as usual. There was no sign that he was bothered by the rumors that were starting to circulate. Even if he was aware of them, he chose to remain focused on the moment. However, this calmness added a layer of mystery. Some fans began to wonder, was this a coincidence, or something deliberately kept under wraps? The entertainment world often harbors behind-the-scenes stories that are far more interesting than what appears on camera. As the night wore on, the conversation only grew more heated. Hashtags related to Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo began to dominate the trending topics. Each new theory sparked wider discussion, creating a growing cycle of speculation. Some industry observers even weighed in, noting that this phenomenon demonstrated the power of fandom to shape narratives. In the digital age, a rumor can grow into a major story in a matter of hours. But beneath all of this, there was something more emotional. For many fans, this wasn't just gossip. It was about hope, nostalgia, and the connections they'd built over the years. Was Wang Yibo really there? Or was this just a collective illusion created by the fans' longing? The question remains, with no definitive answer. What is clear is that the night had become more than just an award show. It had become a phenomenon where reality and speculation intermingled, creating an unforgettable experience. Xiao Zhan may have been the center of attention on the red carpet, but the stories surrounding him took on a much deeper dimension. It was proof that in the entertainment world, sometimes the unseen are more powerful than the seen. As the lights dimmed and the show ended, the mystery lingered. There was no confirmation, no denial, only silence that further fueled the curiosity. And perhaps, that is precisely where the magic lies. Because in uncertainty, imagination has room to flourish, creating stories that continue to be talked about long after the night is over. One thing was certain, whether it was coincidence or meticulously planned, that night in Shanghai had left a lasting mark. A night where a stunning performance turned into a mystery that shook the internet. The next day, the online atmosphere had not yet subsided. Every corner of the internet seemed to be talking about that moment, re-examining every moment of Xiao Zhan's appearance on the red carpet. Even those who hadn't previously attended the event were drawn into the ever-widening discussion. Several fan accounts began compiling evidence they deemed significant. Video clips showing mysterious figures, fleeting shadows, and even small gestures from event staff were subjected to in-depth analysis. All of this seemed to build a narrative that wasn't necessarily true, but felt incredibly convincing to those who wanted to believe. Meanwhile, Wang Yibo's name continued to resonate. Although there was no official statement linking him to the event, his presence felt even stronger in the public conversation. It was a unique phenomenon, an absence that felt like a presence. Some veteran fans tried to calm the situation, warning that excessive speculation could be misleading. But their voices were drowned out by the wave of enthusiasm that was difficult to contain. In the world of fandom, emotion often speaks louder than logic. Interestingly, mainstream media began to take notice of this phenomenon. Article after article emerged, discussing not only Xiao Zhan's appearance but also the mystery surrounding it. They realized that this story had greater appeal than just ordinary event coverage. Meanwhile, some within the entertainment industry chose to remain silent. No clarification, no denial. This silence actually prolonged the rumor's lifespan, allowing it to live and thrive in the public mind. Several days passed, but the echoes of that night were still felt. Old clips continued to resurface, as if the public wasn't ready to completely let go of this story. Even small details that had previously been overlooked were now being rediscovered, analyzed with new perspectives, further fueling the speculation. Amidst all the discussion, a more reflective perspective emerged. Some began to see this phenomenon not as mere rumors, but as evidence of the strong emotional bond between idols and fans. A relationship that doesn't always require a physical presence to remain alive. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan continued to move forward with his busy schedule, as if all this were just a small part of his long journey. The professionalism he displayed only further strengthened his image, earning the public greater respect for his handling of the spotlight without the need for excessive clarification. For some, this is a perfect example of how modern narratives are formed, not from facts alone, but from collective interpretation. Each person adds little pieces to the story, eventually forming a picture that feels complete, even if it may not be entirely accurate. And amidst it all, one thing remains consistent: Xiao Zhan's undeniable appeal. Despite the rumors, he managed to create an unforgettable moment. A performance that was not only visually stunning, but also sparked a wave of incredible emotion and speculation. Ultimately, perhaps the answer to the mystery isn't as important as the journey it creates. Because in some cases, it's the unanswered stories that hold the greatest power. They keep people coming back, keep asking questions, and keep believing that beneath it all, there's something waiting to be revealed.